Hello and welcome to Flory Models. Look, the old intro is back. It seemed to work a lot. The reason I got rid of it last time, it was really jerky and the sound was horrible, but it seems to be alright these days. Hello, we are back again with you for another, well, how many hours did we do this afternoon? It's about 2.5, 3?
Yeah, about an hour and a half, I think, in the end, or an hour and 3/4. Something like that, anyway.
I don't know, it seemed to go on. But anyway, we were having lots of fun. If you haven't known what we're up to and what we're doing, basically we're just trying to take everybody's minds off of the world. And we're doing some modelling. And when we say doing modelling, we actually mean it this time. We have been proper modelling. So if you've joined us earlier, I actually finished decaling this little lady. This is the MiG-23. So yes, we've done that one. And I have got the silvering to go. So that's quite nice. I'll show you a bit more about that a little bit later because it's going to have another coat. I've also been working on, after you lot made me do it, I was looking for my cup of coffee, now I know where it went, the actual Trojan by Hella. And actually, I have to say, this is probably one of the finest small kits I've ever worked on. So now I have to take back and eat humble pie again of everything by Hella. Because I'm sure all of their kits were just as good as this, weren't they, Matt?
I don't think they were bad, no, to be honest. No, they're all right.
So yeah, so I'm working on this one, and then obviously Matt's been working on.
I've been doing my little Wesp, the old Matchbox, obviously reboxed by Revell Wesp. So yes,
Very
it's
nice
been really
indeed.
nice. So hold on, I'll flick my overhead on if I can remember which one it is. Is it that one or the other one? Which one we're on? See if we can get the right camera. There we go. So there it is in all its glory and its little base.
Very nice.
So yeah, I stuck it together. I'm going to get some primer on it and see if get some paint. So
Looks a lot smaller than I remember.
it's tiny. It does me, but then obviously I was a lot smaller when I had it.
That's the thing, you're big
First time
now.
I had some, 6 or 7. So, but yeah, and then here's the little dudes,
Very good.
and they're all right. Actually, I'm really quite impressed with them. They're really nicely moulded. One's just been shot. I don't know if you can see. Can you see his bullet hole?
No, not really.
No, he's got a little bullet hole.
Right.
But I'm going to whack a bit of plastic putty in that and wipe it, But yeah, no, we're getting there. I'm going to have to do something with this tree. Can you see this tree?
I'll tell you what it looks like. It looks like the Teletubby Land windmill.
It does. Yeah, I think I'm going to warm it up and sort of try and do something with these leaves.
Manipulate it.
Yeah, and then spread these ones. I know why they've done it to cover like where this joins in, but it just looks a bit bizarre. So see what I can do with a candle and a match or something just to
Set fire to it.
Just
set
fire to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Andy's been busy all afternoon because he's actually the only one of us who's been to work.
Yeah.
So,
Because apparently I've got an essential job and I have to go to work.
yes, that's it. Because if you need to decorate your house, what else are you going to do?
Yeah, true, yeah. And I'm doing that.
Ooh.
Because I looked through my stash and the worst kits I could find were either Tamiya 32nd or Wingnut Wings. Honest.
Well, in your stash, that's about right, though, isn't it? They're all
Yeah,
like nice kits.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought I'm going to build the Gannet at the box, not even with a canopy mask, which is
So-
might have to be having fits that.
Oh, you need canopy. You got a canopy mask?
No.
Oh no, that's it. Put it away. Just before anybody jumps on him on chat, because we did say it's got to be pre-90s. Andy just doesn't know nothing that late early, so
It's as good as we're going to get. That's the thing with
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
Hey, I've got traumas from being a child at that age and building them, so
Hey, you want this little Matchbox kit? It's fab.
yeah.
It's really good.
Matchbox, it's the future.
It is.
So obviously
you can build
Nathan was
most
on earlier, but
Yeah.
he may be back on a little bit later as well. But he's probably on babysitting duties or something at the moment, so
Yeah, but
he might be back on a little bit later as well. But obviously you lot can join in as well, members. You can see I have now, and to be honest, I've called it the COVID-19 area because I couldn't think of what to call it. So there is an area now in the forum, has all been set up. So we got some builds on the go. Some of you guys have put some stuff in here already. Kevin the Wally stuck it in the wrong area. Just drop him in it. But anyway, so we've got some nice stuff up here. We're going to have a look around these as we make our way through. But obviously, you guys at home who aren't members and everything, you're more than welcome to join in with us as well. And then if you want to email me over, and I'll put up a thing later on in the show about where you can send me pictures and that, and then I can show them on the show a little bit later on as well, on previous shows to make our way through. Because obviously, we're going to try and do almost every day. Pretty much at some point we're going to be live until this all terrible saga blows over, and that's the plan for it. But as I said, it's all a little bit flexible, shall we say. It's a little bit liquid because obviously we have got lives. I know it seems like I just sit here all day, but I have got other jobs I really need to do and work I have to do, like normal editing, day-to-day orders, stuff like that. And obviously Matt does as well. Andy don't count because he's got a real job. So yeah, so it's a little bit like that, but more welcome to drop questions to us live. We'll answer them and obviously get involved with the chat and all the stuff that's going on as always. So you can get hold of us. The membership know anyway, because we have our own live chat room and I was looking into it before we came on air, and there's loads of you in there tonight. Literally, well, yeah, proper lots and lots and lots of you in there tonight. So obviously, you guys can just shout out in the live chat room in that way. Or the other way you can do it is, and I've got it up on this screen just here, we've got everybody on live chat on YouTube land as well. So you're more than welcome to ask questions and post up in there, perhaps for non-members, things like that. And that's it. And that's literally how we're working it and what we're up to.
Mark asked in chat, said, how long's the CV build 19 build going on for?
Well, until the virus
As long as
goes.
it's grounded.
So it might end up being like the REF SIG, which went on for about 10 years. So,
Yeah.
no.
Well,
But
according
honestly,
to
it's
the,
one of those things. Obviously, we can't do this all the time right the way through, but the whole point is it's fun. Like, there's only 2 rules in there, and I have put a little ruling up here in the actual terms and conditions of service, and that's it too. Kits have to be before 1990. Andy, you're fired.
Andy.
And number 2, have fun. That's the only 2 rules for this, so that is it. Okay, so literally, that it's as open as that. Can't say much fairer than that. But the whole point is literally just take your minds off of things for a couple of hours every day or whatever. Watch us catch up, have us in the background talking crap, because let's face it, it's what we normally do, and things like that. But the whole point is just to enjoy yourselves.
Yep.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And
Definitely.
also, according to the doctors, we might have to have a rerun as well next winter as well.
Oh, we're going to have it all again, are we? Brilliant.
Right, so, and also, who was it who mentioned to me about putting the nose weight in? Yeah, thanks for reminding me, because I would have forgotten.
We will forget anyway.
Yeah.
By the time it comes to joining it, he'll have forgotten.
Yeah. There's a question in chat as well, Phil. Dean says, thinning varnish, 1. Would you use your Badger paint stirrer before decanting Tamiya X22 and XF86 for thinning? And which one of these would you recommend? IPA, X20A, self-leading thinners, Vallejo airbrush thinners, or Vallejo airbrush cleaner?
Right, I am a shake it type of guy. So literally, shake it like a Polaroid picture. I don't, to be honest, Tamiya, you don't really get thick, heavy duty stuff. It's not like perhaps MRP with stuff, but for clear coats, they don't have a massive heavy pigment that settles and is going to give you problems. So literally just a shake, and then depending on what type of finish you're going for. So if you're going for a flat finish, then you probably just want to use normal X20A thinners or a rapid drying type thinner. But if you're going for gloss or more of a satin finish, then I definitely use a self-leveling thinner, purely because it's a little bit nicer then. Gives it time to level out and everything like we were saying earlier. So that's the thing to that one.
As Mark says, IPA's worth its weight in gold at the moment, so
I'm all right then, am I?
I saw a 5-litre tub on eBay, I believe it was, for 80 quid.
Apparently Boris is going to be cracking down on that anyway, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Look out,
part
Sports Direct.
Part 2 of the question. Vallejo polyurethane matte varnish. The instructions state use a varnishing brush in 2 thin layers with 4 hours between coats. Can I airbrush?
Yes.
I didn't even know it said use a brush, to be honest with you. I've never read the
Nor have I. I've never read the instructions.
Who
Clearly
reads
I'm a bloke.
instructions?
Instructions, what are they?
Say, what are they?
Same again. Which thinners would you recommend for the above?
Well, for that, I would probably go with something a little bit, because it's polyurethane. The trouble with that, I don't think you put lacquer into polyurethane, can you?
No. You'd have to use a
horrible.
Either Vallejo airbrush thinners or cleaners or cleaner.
Yeah, I would probably, as I say, I'd probably get away with X28 in that. You'd be all right, but I wouldn't. You don't use any lacquers because it'll probably go horrible. As that, I've never hand pack brushed that. I wouldn't know. I've always just airbrushed it. But I don't, to be honest with you, I'm not a fan of those. I haven't used them for a long time. I have got them, but literally for flat coats, yes. Gloss coats, no. Never really got on with their gloss ones or satins. But the flat coat used to be all right.
Chris says, Matt, primer pots and self-evident thinners delivered. Great service as always, mate.
No problemo. Cool. Good.
And Roger says, what's the difference between Mr. Colour thinners and Mr. Colour SFT?
Retarder. Self-leveling thinner as a...
I think it meant SLT, yeah.
Yeah, as a drying retarder. No, Matt looks a bit tired, to be honest. I'm not bored, honest. I'm a bit like... Yeah, a little bit tired.
Yeah, Roger, the self-leveling thinners, it's got a retarder in it, so it's got a slower drying time, so it... Self-levels, Andy. Yeah, but it also it leaves a satin sheen to your paint as well, rather than a matte finish.
It does, yeah.
A couple ones in here. Hello to everybody, obviously in live chat on YouTube, because I'm monitoring that one. Peter says he promises not to say anything about Brett Green. I'm upset. I still can't believe that. I think that's terrible. Well, it's not terrible. It's up to him, I suppose. I just wish people would build stuff for me. This is it now. I'm going to be totally, I'm going to be turning up at shows late, swanning in, expecting kits to be built for me so I can demo. Anyway, Ross is making the Sova M A Models Gulfstream G550. Wow.
Okay.
It looks great, but boy, is it a tough build. Regarding fit issues, also making the Revel 72nd Red Arrows Hawk T1. Very nice indeed, very good.
I'll just answer Neil quick, because before it flicks off our chat. Yeah, Neil, that's fine. Neil Parks, just build it. It's fine. We're not that strict.
No, that's it. Don't worry about anything
from it.
like
Just
that.
build it, enjoy it. And then Keith's asked about the tool you were using for single rivets and removing swarf with a blue handle. Was it? Blue handled spiky tool.
Blue-handled spiky tool. Oh, what? It's just a pin in a pin thing. It's nothing
Pin
special.
thing.
It's literally a needle in a grip. That's it.
Put your overhead on.
To be honest, it's just one of these universal holders. Oh shit, where am I?
Is that a display one, or is it?
Well, no, it's not. It's just a normal. It's one of these generic wow ones. But to be honest, it's exactly the same as the Tamiya do one that you can probably pay a lot more for, but they are identical. One's black, one's blue.
Oh, is this the one we got given from Kareen?
Yeah.
Oh, the Manwar.
Malwar. But the thing
that's
is,
why I thought it was display, because I can remember.
No, it's not display. It's just that Malwar company. But the thing is, they're just generic, because you think the Tamiya, you can buy one from Tamiya as well if you want, for probably pay 4 times as much. But all it is a pin holder.
It is.
It's all it is. It's just literally a pin holder. There's not anything.
I've got a little scalpel blade in mine, look.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's nothing flash to him. It is just literally a needle in a pin vise. It's just I had that one to hand and dug it out with that. So
yeah. David says he's got some pictures. Nathan might be interested in his Tornado. Is he on later? Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like Chris said, just add him to Nathan's thread in the forum.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right. What do we think to the Trumpeter 124th Hurricane Mark IIc?
I've built that.
I know, that's why I'm asking.
Is that the one that's upstairs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine's the one with the big cannons on it.
Yes.
Underneath. Do you know what? I enjoyed doing it. It's okay. It's to the scale. It's a little bit basic, I think. it could have had a lot more detail, but it's all there. It looks like an Hurricane to me, and it's put together fantastic. Really nice build. So, yeah.
But this way, what's the option to it?
Well, they're in, unless you want to convert an Airfix Mark 1.
Airfix Mark 1, yeah.
But, yeah, no, I think it was fine. Good kit.
Meanwhile, look, we'll put this up again because it seemed to go down quite well. People quite liked having that in the background earlier.
Yeah, instead of watching us, they're watching
Yeah,
your
that's
vid.
it. Instead of watching us, you can have that. Right, other questions we've got. Do not underestimate good old Airfix kits. Some of them are quite good. Good memories for sure. I'm just trying to think of a good kit that came out of Airfix pre-90s. Didn't we say the Lightning was around just for 2000, wasn't it?
Yeah, no. I think we're talking like, if we're talking late like 80s before.
Yeah.
I bet there is one. I can't think of any.
No.
There's not many parts to it. I've only got 2 sprues.
Welcome to the world of 1/72nd.
I hate 1/72nd.
No, you don't. You love it. You're going to be over the moon with it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be a convert.
Ross says,
I'm sorry.
sorry, both his kits are modern, so it doesn't apply. It does, because you can still join in and still have fun. Because we, you know, as you say, if you know anything about Flory Models, us and rules are very, very flexible because we don't really stick to them. In fact, we are crap. So yes. Good afternoon, Steph. Lovely to have you here again. Iron Man 129 says, loving the MiG-23 build, Phil. What markings are you using? I am using, this is the Edard Bednar. I won't do the other version, I call it. And I have here, by the power of a little tab, I'm doing that one. So it's the nice one. And I have to say, the decals have not been as straightforward I was sort of hoping for, because they've given me a few little issues. If I get an overhead working, they've given me a few little issues, to say the least, because they are very, very flat. In fact, they're very reminiscent of Airfix and Revell at one point. Had really flat decals, didn't they? And they're like that.
Yeah.
So they have been a bit of a pain. But yeah, it is going to have more. I'm going to carry on with it tomorrow. So we'll put the tiger head on it. And we'll get all the lovely check markings right over this one, and hopefully it'll look the part. I want to get it really deckled tomorrow, so I'll get a clear coat on with it, and then we'll be into weathering with it next week. But I keep doing these shows, which is slowing down my build time.
Yeah, but you can get your little kit done. Brett's put a thing up for you in our chat, if you've got our chat up.
Yeah.
About Phil, earlier today I was painting my kitty up pavewalk and bubbles were coming into the colour cut when I pulled the trigger back. Took it apart, cleaned it, reset it, sealed it, and yeah, hold on, I can't see that bit. But it's still happening. What's the problem?
You've got an air leak at the front end, so it's where your nozzle goes in. It's back churning. What happens is the air's being able to go in to your nozzle. And normally it can't get into your nozzle, it goes around your nozzle at the end and blows out. So there's a tiny little gap which is allowing air back through. Okay, so the only other time that can somewhat happen is that if you've actually got the end is bunged up of your airbrush completely. But normally it just means you need to tighten the end of it. There's videos on there about you know, bubbles coming back in your colour cup, but literally it is, if I just chuck an overhead on, it is, this bit here is normally just slightly undone, so if you tighten it up a bit you'll be fine. Or if it's not that, just make sure that your end of your needle is coming out your airbrush and it's clear. So you want to just make sure, I can't pull this, so I've got paint here from earlier, look, being bad, I haven't cleaned it clearly. So, but literally you want to make sure that your trigger is free and it's moving. Undo it, take it off, put it back on, and then you should be absolutely fine. But the only time you should get bubbles in the back here is if it can't get out the front. So that's why the old trick about putting your finger over the end, it actually can only go one place, and that's back up the needle, which really you don't want. Okay, and then you get bubbles out the top. So that's what it is. Unscrew this bit and then screw it back on. And you should be fine.
I tell you what, actually, I've got to agree with Timo on here. The Airfix Marauder is a really good kit. That is really one of their better kits, the old B26. I built that, yeah. I have to agree, not bad. And Lenny's put the most unfortunate kit was the JU88. That is awful.
No, I've never built that, I must admit.
Oh, it's terrible. It's not good. I'm surprised, mind you, I suppose. It was a decent set. Nobody really. No, Thingy do, don't they? Obviously, the Revster one's pretty good, and Ravel doing 88, so they probably won't tackle that.
We've also got, what is your opinion on 3D resin printing in our hobby? Something you might get into the future. Well, funny enough you say that. Below me here is our resident 3D printing expert.
I won't say
Because he's had it for like 3 weeks now, whatever it is, about a month.
That's it.
I have been dabbling. The hardest part's the CAD, to be fair. And I've been experimenting with a few ones that I've downloaded off Tinternet. That's a head, and that's apparently another head, different chap. It's got a beer instead, and then a figure.
Very good.
If you're into Warhammer and those sort of things, the thousands and thousands of figures that you can actually download and print off in resin, and I can definitely see the advantages of sort of how it can fit into the hobby in general. So especially if you can do the CAD, you can start to do anything really, literally anything. I've got a resin printer, which I think for our hobby, I think is the best type of printer to get. They're a bit smelly, a bit messy, but you get finer quality prints off them than you do off FDM, the spool printers. But yeah, brilliant, really are, really good. But I bought it for my son for his birthday present.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Honest.
that old chestnut.
Yeah.
And also they use a lot of IPA, so stock on IPA, up on IPA, which like I say at the moment is a ridiculous price, but because IPA is the main ingredient to hand wash, hand gel, sorry.
Yes.
So it's all going in the world to using hand gel for some reason. Don't know why.
Well, I have to say, putting it out there, but the company who make our plastic bottles have been seconded to just making hand sanitizer bottles. So they are shut, technically, for all orders, apart from, obviously, for them making hand sanitizer bottles.
Yeah.
And it could be like that for 3 months, we've been warned. So my opinion on 3D printing, as I say, if anyone, for the guys who watch me all the time know this anyway, so this is the short answer. I think it's fantastic, I think it's brilliant, and it'll be the future. It's going to be like a replicator. So it'd be like Star Trek. It will do everything, but it is no way there yet. I wouldn't, for me, it's not something I'm going to jump onto quite yet. But it's one of those things that's coming. Like I've said before, the way I describe it is printers. I remember getting my first matrix dot printer and how slow, inefficient and rubbish it was. And now you look, here we are, 15, 20 years later, I've got a laser printer out in the unit that spits out double-sided, full-colour gloss copies in 1/100 a second. So it just shows how progress comes along and how good that is compared to my black and white matrix dot printer.
That
3D printers will be the same.
That took 5 hours to print.
Yeah.
On a resin printer, the main thing the thing that takes the time is the height. So the higher something is, the longer it takes. So you could literally print 10 of them off, but at the same time it takes one because obviously they're on the build plate together. Mm-hmm. So it's the height that takes the time. So it doesn't matter how many you've got on the build plate, as long as they're all the same height. That's what takes the time. But the higher, so if I put a hat on him or a feather or something on his head, it'd take probably another half hour or something because it's the height that takes time. But quality, I think that's not fantastic quality to what you can print. So you can print better. It just depends on who's done the 3D CAD of the thing in the first place.
Yeah.
But they are very Yeah,
Stick him on your overhead camera. Let's have a look. Has he got a chrome dome then? Or has he got a
helmet on it? Yeah.
Or has he got a helmet? Has he?
Yeah.
All right. That's a nice priming technique, Andy. What's that called?
That's Matt's technique.
Not my technique.
For some reason, it's got some light in the cape for some reason, but yeah, and the heads. Oh, what's going on here? See, I think that one there. You see it's wet on the lip.
Yeah.
I think that's it. It's not cured properly. I think the resin bleaching.
Oh.
Probably not cured that long enough.
Looks like lurch.
Yeah. But yeah, so I can't see. My picture's a bit fuzzy, so I can't tell how easy you can see them. But
oh, focus then. Just put your hand behind it.
Yeah, stick your hand behind it. No, it's still locking onto your Mac. That's it. Put your hand right behind it so it can just see you.
That's it.
That's
there.
it.
Stop. Back. Oh. It's quite good detail.
It is.
Yeah, no, it's good.
they're focusing on that.
They're thingy, aren't they? They're Space Marine heads, but you've
yes, they are. Yeah, but they're blown up to the size that it should be. To be honest with you.
Should do one in 1:1 scale.
1:1 scale.
Yeah. Like the mannequin head of a Space Marine.
Use about 100 quid's worth of resin.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, so the short and curlies of this one is, I think it's great, and the quality is far better. By year it's getting better. I just don't think it's quite there yet. But like I said before, I think give it 20 years, it will be that thing where you will literally print it off. You will be, you know, like now when you go, if you're into your computer gaming, you download them, whereas before you go to the shop and buy it, it'll be the same thing. You will literally download, pay for your model kit, you'll print it off yourself and it'll be there, you know. And at the same time, somebody would have then done decals and all the bits and pieces to do it as well, and you'll just print off everything and it'll be done. Everything will be, you know, it'll take the purchase thing out of loop, which is bad for me and Matt, who own a model shop.
Yeah, it will.
So we're not hoping that this is going to work anytime soon.
Yeah, Jeff says he's looking at the same printer I've got, but unfortunately can't get the moment. It's fair. I think I've got an Elegoo Mars Pro I've got. It was a brand new one that came out at the beginning of the year. I think they only seem to sell them through Amazon for some reason. Our Amazon in the UK received, I think it was 20, and they all sold out within about 2 hours. And then COVID-19 hit the world. I don't think any have ever come over since. So they will come back into the country again, or in US and all the countries will get them back in. But say just obviously what's happened at the moment. They also said, do you post cure with the UV lamp? Yeah, I've got a really fantastic UV spot lamp with a A4 paper box with a hole cut in the top of it, and it's all then lined with silver foil.
So
and with a UV.
He also does his nails in it too.
Yeah, with a UV turntable that spins around. Yeah, Dave said they've got a larger model than prototype. Yeah, it has. The problem with larger models is that unless they increase the resolution, it's not. It gets a bit iffy. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, the bigger build plate and the bigger your axis is for the height, you can get bigger molds out of it, but you sort of like start needing a bigger, it's a bit like a monitor into the bigger, or a TV screen. The bigger they are, the higher resolution you need. But again, with the higher resolution, it gets obviously the longer time to print them, and the long enough as it is. So yeah. Keith says, no, is it no? Chris says you want a UV LED strip. I did look at the strips actually. I don't know why I bought the spotlight, because it's all lined with tinfoil, silver foil anyway, baking foil, so it all reflects off it. And I've also got a UV powered turntable that fits in it. Because the UV lamp then powers the turntable, and it just like spins around with the bits on it.
So you can do a kebab at the same time.
Yeah.
Got a doner kebab going around in there as well. Okay, what colour Flory wash would you use on Japanese navy green? I would probably go down Old Faithful with dark dirt and then mix it with a little bit of grime. But if you wanted to go for that sort of sea salt effect with it, obviously you could go in there with a little bit of light wash as well, or a bit of the grey if you wanted to lighten up between the panel lines. But the thing is, the dark dirt wash isn't black. It's more of a brown hue, so it does stand out on greens just as well as it stands out on greys and everything else. But if you wanted to be a little bit lighter, so it stood out a little bit more, the grime wash would cope with it. Absolutely fantastic.
Right. I'm going priming, so I'm going to mute myself.
Right, you mute yourself so we don't get deafened, especially if you're set up.
Oi, don't be like
Fire up Old Faithful. Dug, 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 dug.
Hey, that's your compressor.
I know, it is by Old Faithful. That's what I mean. Bless it.
Right.
Peter says, loving the content and the effort that you guys are taking to entertain those of us who are stuck in the house during the CV crisis. Thank you to all. No problem, it's our pleasure. It's what we're here for. Nicola says that they would use the grey wash. Again, if you wanted a salty look, then yeah, the grey wash. If you're going for that, if you're going for dirt and grime and stuff like that, then probably the grime wash. But as I say, it's personal choice. Don't forget, if you don't like it, overcoat it. Don't try and wash it off. Just put a coat straight over the top of it and it'll be great. DJ says he currently has the 1985 Hasegawa F8. First time scribing panel lines and sanding away the raised ones. Remember, secret to rescribing is not to push down. Just drag and you'll be fine. Goes a Wildcat helicopter. That's it. And sprue goo for fixing your mistakes. Absolutely. No, don't ask about Brett Green. It's destroyed my faith in modelers.
Well, what's happened?
Well, it turns out Brett Green doesn't build his own kits. I think it's terrible. I didn't know that. I was totally shocked this afternoon when it came out that apparently he doesn't actually build all his own kits.
Does he know that, or
What, Brett Green?
yeah?
Well, he does now. Apparently he doesn't hide it. He does simply gets other people to build the kits and then he paints them and things.
Oh right, yeah, I see what you mean.
What else have we got? Michael's building the perfect grey Gundam GP01. Very nice and detailed. Lovely. I love Gundam stuff, and I'm not being sarky. I think it's some of the best engineered kits that you'll ever buy. Roger's building the Italeri Valkyrie, and it's a real challenge. What else we got? Old kits. 1979 Revel Dam Buster Lank. Is that okay? Yes, that definitely counts. Yeah, I don't know if Andy's been in the loop for this because he's been at work, but the Challenger kits, Andy, the upgrade kit.
Yeah.
Are they coming with it? I know Matt was talking to our supplier about it.
It's an extra. You have to buy.
But they are coming in at the same time, aren't they?
They're coming on at the same time. Don't quote me, but I think they're about. I think it's somewhere between £15 and £17. Something like that. I don't know the exact price of it. Matt's got the pricing, hasn't he? So. It's sort of, that sort of price-ish, I think.
Yeah.
It's basically just a comprehensive photo etch set for all the bar armour and the aerials and bits and bobs on it.
Yeah.
So it's around that sort of price, but
does look nice, I must admit.
Mm.
Opinion on the 48 scale SU-34 Kitty Hawk? The trouble you have with that kit is that it's Kitty Hawk. No, you don't. I tell you what, the funny thing is, obviously you've only got two options. You're either going to go down the Hobby Boss route, which is a lot cheaper, or you're going to go down, obviously, the Kitty Hawk route. The Hobby Boss one isn't as detailed as the Kitty Hawk one, but the Kitty Hawk one is a bit of a handful to put together. I think that's being fair. So again, it depends on your skills and your, how disciplined you are dry fitting and test fitting and making sure it goes together. If you're very disciplined, then obviously I would go down the Kitty Hawk route because it is definitely more detailed. Whereas like the trumpeter one's typical trumpeter, it's roughly there and it goes together, but it's not as detailed as Kitty Hawk one. So if I had a gun to my head, I would probably do the Kitty Hawk one. The Avro 504K. Don't know what one of those is. I'll have to Google that in a minute. 148 scale Pegasus hobbies are easy snap with decals and stickers. That's what you want, definitely. Phil, if you would have to make a frequently asked questions guide, how many questions would it have? Millions. Literally millions. You think I do Q&A shows almost every day? Oh, he's in there spraying. I couldn't see him for a minute. Iron Man's recently done the 72nd Airfix Norman Islander.
Oh, that's the one that Matt can't build.
Hey?
That's one that Matt can't build.
Yeah. Don't know if he can hear. He's probably muted still.
If he can, he's probably calling us.
Yeah. He can hear us, we just can't hear him.
For some reason, I've lost my sprue cutters. There's somebody in the family has probably pinched them for something else.
What? Some wire cutting? Do some toenails?
Yeah. Cannot find them.
Chris says, question, using MIG acrylic gloss pre-decaling, microsole is eating into it. Why is this? Is there another acrylic gloss we could use? Don't forget it's an acrylic, so, and microset and sol, they're acids, literally mild acid is what it is, so it's eating into it. Your best bet though, when you're doing any type of decaling, to be honest, we were doing it this afternoon, let me just chuck my overhead on. When we were doing this little lump, I decaled it this afternoon live whilst we were on, and it is this thing of like, thin layers of setting solutions onto this one, not a heavy one. Because if you put a heavy one down, it will probably eat into the paintwork. And I was actually using the really lethal, this stuff, to try and get this to bed down. And this stuff is like alien blood, it's lethal. So if you touch it, it will melt the paint. And you'll rub it down to bare plastic. It is literally that bad. But it makes the decals go down an absolute treat. They bed down, no problem at all. But it is, like I always say, you get people and they'll get ring marks around the actual thing. So if you were doing like on a wing, you've got your decal, you put your micro on and you get like a white ring around the outside. Well, what's happened is that the acid literally in the setting solution is etching into the paintwork. And that's because it's on too much. You put too much physically on there. You want to do, like I always say, thin coat, and then it will evaporate almost instantly. Okay, you give it sort of 10-15 minutes, come back, give it another coat. Think of it like spraying white paint. If you put and flood it, it never covers and it never dries. But if you go light coat and then literally, blow dry it, whatever you want to do, dry it off, second coat, third coat, fourth coat, job done, no problem at all. But if you're going down there too heavy, it will just never cover. And it is the same thing with setting solutions. Secret to that is thin coat and patience. And to be honest, that's what I was saying all afternoon doing that. patience, patience, patience. Because the thing is, as soon as you get a little bit frustrated, that decal, it won't go down. You end up cutting it with a knife. You tear it. You brush it, and it's still wet, the decal, and all of a sudden it drags, it splits, it rips, it melts, whatever it is. That's the trouble with it. So just be a little bit careful when you're doing your decaling like that, and just trust in it doing it. Okay, and don't forget, if microset and so aren't working brilliantly, then try something like X20A, because that'll work just as well. And then you can move on to the stronger products out there, like, as you say, the old Hypersol stuff. This stuff is lethal. It does the trick. It's my sort of last shot at getting stuff to go down. But I showed it on air before we finished, and it was white. I just whipped the riveting wheel over it again, gave it a coat of the Hypersol, to be honest, went off, set up the website for tonight, and all the bits easy to come down, and it's fine. And it really is that good. There you go, answering the second part of the question. Anything stronger? This stuff is the strongest stuff I've found on the market available at the moment. It's not cheap. It comes out of, yeah, somewhere in Europe. Where'd it come from, Andy?
Poland, isn't it?
Is it Poland? Is it Polish? But yeah, it's lethal, to the point where this will melt lacquer-based paint. So you do have to be careful with it, but it will nail anything down. But it is incredibly strong, so just be careful using this one. And also, if you've got something like Linden Hill decals, it will literally dissolve them. It's lethal, so just be careful on thinner decals. Josh is building his P51. Christopher's saying about Dayco decal solutions. Yeah, they do 3 flavours. I think they do a mild, medium and lethal. So just be careful with those as well. Seb's going to be building the Dayco Productions Marchetti 72nd. And it's all resin. Nice. I like working with resin. It's easy to sand and scribe. Any of you using daylight lamps and natural lights? Yes, lots of them, as you can see. Andy's got about 12 in there.
I've got, well, that one's not in use. I've got one here, triple thing there, then I've got a ring one there, and also my spotlights on the ceiling, and every single one of them's got daylight bulbs in them.
Yeah.
Every single one.
And I've got, if you go back, I don't know when it was, but I did a thing on it, and I've been using, I've got my old ones here, because I've just recently switched mine out. These are the old ones, which actually work really well. I've got Godox LED 500Cs. This is the twin one, and then I've got the W one up there, is white light only, and it comes out, it's like a barn door, and I've got 3 of them up running. But I've got a new version of, because it's cheaper. So if you pop back through some of the ones, I put it up, I don't know, about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I'm sure somebody in chat will chop up with what it is, because I can't think of it off the top of my head. But I've got new lights, and the great thing is about it, they're cheap, they're 45 quid a pop. They're very, very bright, as you can tell, because it's illuminating the entire studio, and I've got 3 of them. Yeah, LED lights, they are so cheap compared to what they used to be. I paid basically 800 quid for 2 600 LED daylight banks before, and that was a few years ago now. Admittedly, that would have been a good, I think now, about 5 years ago, and they were horrendously expensive, and now 45 quid for roughly the same thing. Stuart says thank you for the live feed, no problem at all. But he has got a good point. Roger says, how does that filter work? It does look a bit, I can't work out if he's just fuzzy, because I've got a different view of him over there. I've got his big picture, and it's slightly bigger from what you guys can see on the screen, and it doesn't look as bad. I know on the screen you guys are seeing that sort of bottom right corner, it does look a bit clogged there, but actually I'm looking at another version of it, and it's slightly wider angle, and it doesn't look as bad. But I think he could do with a new filter, admittedly. And he's got a brand new one, he never uses it.
Mine looks brand new, yeah.
Yeah, Andy's only had his for 5 years, it's like new.
I sprayed towards it, just forget to turn it on.
Don't turn it on, yeah, I was going to say. Right, are we caught up? Then I can get on. There we go. Ajima, I apologise for mutilating anybody's name or any brand name. You know me, I just make it up. Where are we? We were saying Ajima is somewhere is Czech. So there we go. Thank you guys. And I have to say it's really good stuff. It's just be careful, it's very, very strong. Clarification, Brett Green does build his own models, he just doesn't paint them. Okay. I'm still heartbroken by that. I feel like a second-rate citizen. I'm going to have Andy build all mine now. Then Matt can mask them. I could get Rob to do all the rescribing. Between the team, we could actually probably come up with half a decent kit. Thomas says first time watching and he's enjoying it. That's good. Hello from New Zealand. Peter, you couldn't help our friend John. Our friend John, who you've probably seen on the live shows, is currently stuck in New Zealand. We think he's going to be there for weeks. He should have come home. But because of everything that's happened, he's in an Airbnb in Christchurch. So if anyone can help, John and his wife, they are stuck in Christchurch. To be honest, he is on Skype and everything. He's got it working. Because I know he was on with you guys last night, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
So we'll have to try and get him on again. I don't know if he's in chat on the other chat for the site. So yes, very good. Right, we're up to date. Right, I'm going to crack on a bit with my kit down in here. So let's go for an overhead. Here we go. So I am working on this little gem. Look, it's so small I could probably put the closer camera on here. Look, there we go. So I'm working on this little gem, which is actually the 1/72. This is the T28 Trojan French Helikit. And I have to say, the detail, like down the back here, we're not sure if that's stressed skin or what it is or something else. Hold on, do you want another show? Look, I can put another part on. Let's do another one. They can see airbrushing at the same time. But yeah, it looks like it's stressed skin. You see that, Andy, down the back?
Yeah.
It's not, clearly, but it looks like it.
That's right.
So, yes. But it's very, very nice. The detail on this is actually second to none. We did the cockpit earlier. We've got it down. We have nose weight. It's very heavy. Okay, so we'll just do a little bit of seam scraping here, just to go through. The dog's board. What have you got? Oh, tennis ball. That'll be what that is. Okay. Where's Matt gone? Down the pub? Well, he can't do that these days. Yes, I have to say, the detail on this kit is absolutely fantastic. So we'll just whip round here with the old sanding sponge. Other sponges are available for lesser quality. Looking all very good.
This is one of those kits where there's no numbers on the sprues and you have to look at the instructions all the time.
Oh right, okay.
But the parts don't actually look exactly like they do on the instructions.
Yeah.
If you're trying to go by what they look like.
Yeah, Keith's okay. We spoke to Keith a few weeks ago, but as I say, he's very busy with other projects at the moment. So, but no, he is good.
Keith by profession's a builder, like chip into. What?
Well, he's plasterer, isn't he?
Plasterer, sorry, yeah.
But he doesn't just do normal plastering, he does renovation type plastering,
yeah.
old school stuff.
Yeah. And so he's obviously very talented at it, and he does a lot of his own work, doesn't he? He does a lot of work on his own house, doesn't he?
Yeah, to be honest, he's renovating his house after many years of being nagged at. So he's actually been doing a lot of work on his own place. So, bless him.
A busman's holiday.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, sorry, do you need the subs on? Sorry, do apologise. There we go. There you go. Right, let's see how good this wing join is. I'm sort of hoping for perfection, really. See, I tell you what, I take it back. For some reason I had it in my head that Hella would just like Airfix but French. But look at that, no seam.
Yeah, cool.
Tiny thing at the back, just needs a bit of a nudge. But that is, I have to say, I think as good as you're going to get in there. So yes, I'll eat humble pie. Here we go, wings on. Peter's building the Trumpeter 72nd Wellington. Good luck with that. As in, that'll be alright. Be careful with the undercarriage on the T28 Phil, it's very delicate. It does look a bit gangly, I must admit. I'll tell you what, from a landing point of view, tricycle landing, it's a bit tight. It must have been very hard not to, like, you know, stick the tail in the ground with this thing. Hi guys, right now I'm working on the good old Schmear Tiger Moth. Wow, 148 scale. Actually, that's out now, isn't it? The Airfix Tiger Moth?
Yes, it is, yeah.
It is now. Together that, scratch building, the little bits and pieces and the fuselage. It's fun. Very nice, good build.
I need to get one and get it built and...
Yes. Right, so I'll tell you what we can do, so I'm waiting for that to dry. We'll mask up the canopy, I think, because that'll save a bit of time later on. Let me just stick this on wide mode. There we go. And So I am not one of these people who goes out and buys a mask set for everything. Has he got his sound on?
No. Yes.
Some of us are real modelers. If you can find his masking tape. Oh, about 10 rolls of it around here and I can't find any of them.
I hear you say that when I'm muted.
Oh, sorry, I thought you'd gone out.
How's the framing on that kit?
Actually, again, it's good, it's sharp, it's
Is
got
it
a good
quite
edge
clear?
on it. It's going to be a doddle to mask it because it's actually got a
Right.
really sharp
All right,
masking.
yeah.
And it's all of them as well. A little bit around the front's going to be a bit, yeah, but the rest of it I think is going to be absolutely fine.
So it's pretty clear though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Ooh, impressive.
it is. That's it. I'm a hella convert. Perhaps not.
We need to stock Hella, do we now?
Yeah, that's it. Can we stock hella kits, please?
We're getting the catalogue out in a bit.
Yeah, that's it. What,
So
the
you can
back
see your,
catalogue?
hey, so you can see your next build.
Consolation.
To be honest, one of the planes I've always wanted to build is the CL-124, is it? The water bomber?
Yes.
I've always wanted to do that kit. And then when I watched Ice Pilots and they had them and everything, I was like, oh, that's it. I've got to do one. And then I realised the only one you can find is Hella. So I was like, no. But now, if it's like this, I'm sure all of their kits are just as good.
I think that has got a few fit issues, if I remember. Nothing that's, you know, you can't overcome. But
Yeah.
I don't think it's quite as crisp as probably that one. But I mean, it's the only one, though, isn't it?
I was going to say, it's your
70%.
only option.
So, and they always look impressive when they're done.
Yeah.
So,
I was
yeah.
thinking in flight, doing a bomb drop.
Oh, no. Now you're going to be the master of water effects.
Oh no, I'd have it flying over a forest.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh, gee. I'll put it on water.
You built it yet, Andy? Is it finished?
Really?
Are you going to put your overhead on so we can all see what you're doing?
Yeah.
Tell you what, you're not going grey, isn't he? He's aged in the last 2 weeks.
I think you aged in the last 10 minutes looking at them instructions of that kit.
It's a bit rough.
Who you or the kit?
He got a dry cough, has he?
Say again.
So he's got a dry cough, has he?
Oh, I thought you said something else. Better not have. Better up.
That looks absolutely nothing.
Like a gannet.
Got the instructions, yeah.
Andy, just before you start, there's rules to this. You can't moan about the kit
Yeah, you're not allowed. Yeah, there is a
Not
rule.
allowed to moan,
Yeah.
bitch, or anything. You've got to just build it.
Yes.
A little
Positive
bit.
mental attitude, Andy. And I'm sure chat will tell you the same.
Yes, they will. Chat will tell you to get on with it. Tell you what, these OLED blades are crap at breaking on where they're supposed to.
Oi, you stop moaning as well. So which would you do, the piston engine one or the turbo prop?
Do you know what? I wouldn't mind either, really. I'd
right.
probably do the piston one.
Yeah.
Well, that's the 214. The 215's the piston, is the turbo, isn't it?
215's the piston engine and the 415 is the turbo prop.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
Are they both available?
Yeah. One of them is, I'm not sure which. Hold on, I will have a look for you. Because Ravel's reboxed it as well at some point. One of them.
Right.
So Bryn's got one or he started it, and then it's shelf for doomed, I think. Let me just have a look. So basically, what you're saying, if they're in stock, you want one.
No, I just might be tempted to have a good look at one and see. Don't want to commit. Because I've got another water plane planned for this year, haven't I? So,
Have you?
a certain cat.
Yes, I've got an idea for that as well. We'll discuss it.
Alright.
If you put your stuff in your basket, Matt.
Mass set for a cannet.
Don't you take my pilot out again?
An Airfix Tiger Moth.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, they'll be coming in anyway. We'll get them in anyway, won't we?
Yeah.
Right, 1/72. Let's have a look. What Hella are doing. Oh, I'll tell you what they do. Oh, that'd be good.
What's that?
They're Forger Magister in 72nd.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Is it Dayco are doing this 32nd one, are they?
Yes.
When's that one out, doing it?
I don't know now. Hey, your Fennec Trojans in stock.
Oh, is it?
Guess how much full retail?
Go on.
£8.50.
I'll tell you what, be the best £8.50 anyone's ever spent.
Shout up if you want one. I'll add them to a basket. I'll have to sort of pre-order.
Yeah, that's it.
Where is he? Oh, guess what?
What?
They're both in. The 215 and the 415. There's not many 215s in stock, but the other one, they've got loads of the 415.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah. It's available in both flavours. Oh, the Super Constellation as well.
Oh, I like the Super Connie, yeah.
Oh, no, I think it's just a Berlin Ehrlich Constellation, not the Super one, sorry.
Right.
A C212A, I presume that's a normal Connie, is it?
Might be, I don't know him that well.
I don't know. Yeah, I think it's just a Connie in it. Oh, that's a nice looking aircraft. See, Ella did some gems in the day. Oh, Super Constellation. It's actually should be coming out.
Ooh.
Ooh.
What's up, mate?
Ooh.
What's that?
Who's come to see you?
Molly.
Oh, does she need to go out?
Probably. She always needs to go out. She's got a bloody bladder worse than John's.
That's bad then. Yeah.
See, look, this is how a real person does masking, you know. None of this go and bloody buy a masking set crap.
Yeah, whatever. I'm all about efficiency. So if you get this Tiger Moth then, Andy, do you think you'll get it finished in time?
Are we talking if the person isn't around anymore?
I was trying to be diplomatic, but yeah, pretty much. It's took how long to the Airfix one? Matchbox one, sorry. How long's that been on the go?
A couple of years.
Terrible.
Failing that, make a nice centerpiece on their table with the flowers.
How's about a 1/72 707?
Cool, that's the really old one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I've built that kit.
Have you?
Yeah.
Blimey, you say this.
I built that for a commission many years ago.
Not an easy kit either, is it?
No, it wasn't. I remember it well. In fact, I had a bit of a nightmare masking it as well for the scheme.
Yeah.
Freaking nightmare. Yeah, it's one of those that everything that could go wrong at that point did, including the bit where come to unmask it and went straight down a bare plastic. It's like, But then again, that's my own fault. Didn't prime it.
I was going to say, no primer or dodgy primer.
No, I didn't prime it.
Right. Do you know what? I have actually got a helikit. I forgot I had it. Ooh.
Well, what you got?
I've got a Potes 540, which is a bomber thing.
Didn't you have that Super Frailon helicopter?
I've got the Super Frailon, yeah, it's up on the thing, the 35th one. Yeah. Yeah, that's up on the
There we go.
on the roof. Not quite a quick build though, that is it.
No.
But this bomber thing, you can get a mask set for it now, so that I'd be tempted to do that now. I reckon mask it. That's interesting. Right, where was that? I'm going to put some paint on my base, I think. Let's get off that.
If anyone doesn't know, Matt's criteria about whether he's going to build an aircraft or not.
He told me he's not building aircraft anymore.
If you can get a mask set for it, yeah.
Well, I'm having a bit of a hiatus on aircraft, yeah. So, but it would count. Can I get a mask set if I would build it or not? See, Nigel's put, look, Hella do a lot of World War II French bombers film.
Oh, there you go, Nigel. You're always moaning at us to get them. You could get hella ones there.
He's probably got them all.
Yeah.
And Attacker do a early French paint set.
Yeah.
I've got it somewhere. Right, where was we? Zenithal highlighting on a tank. Right, I'm going to clean my airbrush and mute you again. Nathan's a bit late tonight. Isla must be playing up.
But we added him to.
I've added him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've got a bit of an anhedral problem with me wings. Hold on, look at this. This is actually schoolboy error. I put it in the clamp and it's dried at a bit of a funny angle. So as you can see, my tail was square, but I've got a bit of trouble. He might have a bank problem trying to trim that out. It's all right. I'll use a bit of brute force on that one.
We're flying around in circles. Lots of fit light to the fuselage. Okay.
To be honest, it's perfect. No problem with any of it. Apart from I've clamped it and pulled it. So we're going to have to reset that a bit. You know when they break a leg to reset it?
That's what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Unless it's supposed to be like that. Right, let's have a few little questions down in here. Currently doing the 72nd Academy Hurricane, rather good. Doing it, although, sorry, to be for a while because it's missing the canopy. Ooh. Phil, is your F-clamp device still available? Not that I'm aware of. I don't think they are available around at the moment. I haven't seen them for a long, long time. Hi Phil, where can I find the tutorial on uploading pictures to the site? I've had no success finding it on the forum. Just literally look quickly as that's passing through. Look, I'll pause it, and then where are we? COVID. Right, so if you go, I know it looks slightly different. This is because I'm in a weirdo mode. But if you just go up the top here to forum hints and tips, it's at the top of the site. Click see down in there, and then in here you've got forum help videos in there, and then you've got the one on using the site, one on using the forum, one on using the live chat, one on using notifications. There you go, uploading photos and using photos for hosting and stuff like that. So it's just in there. So it is in forum use hints and tips. So literally top of the forum. I know it looks slightly different, as you're saying, but it'll be in the top one of the top 4, and that is it. That's the one you want. So just go into this one here. You'll be golden.
The main thing is to make sure that the photos are less than 250 kilobytes, isn't it?
Yes.
Either by resizing or altering the compression on it.
Yeah.
Or if you do a Google for image resizing or whatever, either on whatever, if you're taking it with your phone, on your phone you can get Android and iPhone do apps for it.
Yeah.
Or if you're doing it on your computer, you can sort of like, you'll get tutorials how to do it.
Yeah.
Dead easy. Just make sure they're below 250 kilobytes. Resize them, resize them and save them and post them up.
I know a lot of people say it's a small file size, but for the forum it's perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
And it doesn't cost me a fortune. So I'm quite happy to pay for it. Because the bill's a lot less than I thought it was going to be, because everyone's not abusing it. John King is finishing his ME262 from Revel in 32nd. I know that kit well, built it myself. Very nice. Hello to everybody. Check is for the Hypersol. It is indeed. Phil, I tried adding Liquitex Professional Acrylic Ink into Tamiya Extra Thin, and it seems to work okay. Oh, there we go. Not as solid a colour as the Mr. Hobby ink, but it does show where the blue goes. Oh well, that's interesting. Still haven't found out exactly what they use though. Hella did some great motorcycles in 1/8. Yeah, Dave said he used it was at 8 to 10 drops to do it. Hasn't changed it. Cool. Gentlemen, do you build with the purpose to take first place in competition, or do you always build just for fun, regardless of the outcome?
Funny you should mention that. Do you know where when Phil was talking about his 262? That'd be the same 262 that was next to my 109 that won a prize in the show.
Oh, see?
Just thought I'd mention it.
To be honest, I haven't seen my 262, so it might not even be in one bit.
It's still in one bit.
So there we go.
I think we'll just build for the sake of it, don't they? Rather than none of us enter competitions for the sake of it, do we?
I've never entered a competition in my life. It doesn't interest me whatsoever. Again,
The only person that So the only person out of us that did was Rob, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And he did really well.
yeah, he came first out of his only entry for under 12s.
Just 12s.
But no, like seriously, I don't enter competitions. As I say, I've been building now for the last 20 years professionally for commissions and stuff. So, you know, but competitions is something that's never interested me whatsoever. I do it because I enjoy it or for the enjoyment of other people. Certainly not for you know, for the gongs. I know there's lots of you out there who do, but honestly, it doesn't do anything for me. I like to look at everyone's great work, though.
We did a few years ago go to Mosson show in Czech Republic, and we were looking at all the competition. Well, everything was basically competition stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And the quality of it, and we were commenting when we got to a certain section that we wouldn't even do well in that section. That was the kids section, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the under 7s.
Yeah.
They're better than us.
I come in at an awkward point.
Oh, hold on, he's here. Right, hold on. I'm going to have to
Shove
shift
me up
you guys
somewhere.
all around a bit on the fly. Hold on. Right, hold on. I'm going to have to. Sorry for viewers that were watching this. You're going to lose that a sec. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Hold on. Which one have we lost? Oh God, now we're losing them all.
Is that Matt with the blue gloves on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh God. Interference. Right. Okay. Look, I'm going to have to move my thing now as well. Look, hold on.
Sorry about this.
That's all right. Let me skip all this out of the way. There we go. We're in.
Oh, the little one put up a fight tonight. Crikey.
We gathered. Right, we're a bit straighter.
Everyone's getting through this stuff a lot quicker than me.
So, for you guys who are joining for the first time, Nathan was with us this afternoon. Do you want to show him what you're building now?
Yeah, I'll just put it on overhead for a sec.
Nathan, you got your phone near you?
Yeah, have you got a phone near something? Because we've got. It sounds like a phone. Give him feedback.
Is that better?
Seems
Yeah.
to be.
Right, I am building, God help me, this thing. And I'm trying to, not too much, but get it up to a decent standard. I scratch building a cockpit, putting some, come over here, some Aero Club seats in, with a platform canopy, just trying to get it up to a standard. I'm not sure what standard, but a standard. Because this kit is a little bit rustic and agricultural, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, to say it's got a few little issues.
Yeah. So it's not. I mean, it looks every bit of the Javelin once it's all together. So to be honest,
Knowing you, what seats are you putting in them? A Tornado seats or ME109 seats?
they are legitimately
Oh, are they?
Gloucester Javelin seats. Apparently, they look a little bit. They look fairly similar to Buccaneer seats, to be honest. But I've just been starting. It's going to take a lot of filler at the front, and I'm starting to rescribe the major panel lines. I'm not going to put everything in it because I'll be here till the second pandemic if I do that, I think. But yeah, I mean it's awful, really. I can't really. What can I
Can't
say?
sugarcoat it.
I can't really say anything other than it's blooming horrible. But that's part of the fun, I think.
Apparently not allowed to moan about your kit.
No. No, we're not having any moaning, thank you.
Merely stating fact. I think I'll be the one to finish dead last.
No, you won't. You'll be fine.
But you can tell with this Novo took over frog molds, can't you? And you can tell the molds have taken a bit of a battering, to be honest. There's loads of strange artifacts and weird things going on the molds. But it looks like a javelin. That's the main thing, isn't it?
Yes. Where's Matt gone?
Gone for a tea break.
Oh no, he's still there.
I think for the rest of the evening I'm going to work around the main fuselage, try and leave that properly to dry overnight, I think.
Ross says, a job well done is always better for the mental health. The time took and the skills learned in the process all make for a reminder of when you were finished of what you invested in making it. That's very good. I like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Very good point. I must admit, some of my builds I look back on and, you know, I often think, do you know what? It's been a complete crap kit, but I've really enjoyed building it because you're beating it to death. A bit like, you know, when I did the bear and everyone said it doesn't go together, it's rubbish. And it doesn't go together and it is rubbish, but it was a lot of fun when you finished it.
Yeah. I mean, if I can get this thing done to a standard that I'm reasonably happy with, then I'll call it a win. I'm not going to super detail it. I'm not going for any particular accuracy. I'm just trying to make it look a bit better than it does out of the box. And I'm having to rescribe, to be honest, because I'm going to have to do so much work on the fuselage that I'm kind of having to rescribe, really.
Lauren says, sorry for another question. My MiG-21 is, MiG-29 is almost done and it's on a display base with a mirror and I want to paint the Russian star on this. Which paint would you use on glass or a mirror like? To be honest, I think you'd be fine with anything. If you're going to airbrush onto it, obviously hand painting, that's a different story. But to actually airbrush, I presume you mask your star onto it, and then obviously to spray on, I don't think it would actually matter.
No, it might not adhere particularly well.
No, you're going to be able to scratch it off, but if you're just going to spray onto it, and obviously it's not going to be like a used or worn surface or anything else like that, I think you'd be fine. Because obviously onto a mirror, it's glass, so you're just going to be able to scratch it off with your nail no matter what it is. Obviously lacquers would hold on a little bit better than acrylic, but for the point of actually spraying it, I don't think it makes any difference.
No.
Oh look, John Buller is on Skype, on the chat.
That's it.
He is. Hello there, chaps. He's still alive over here. There you go. That's our very own team member stuck in New Zealand. Bless. So he's all right. Bless him.
Yeah. Our roving reporter.
So what would you think is the most important thing in your build? Accuracy. Oh, hold on. Jumping around. Accuracy. What do you think is the most important bit of your build? The accuracy or the detail, the paint job or something else?
A good question.
Something else.
Yeah.
That's a really
I have to say, you know, at the end of the day, it depends what you're building for. You know, if you're building for yourself, I would say having fun and to have that sense of, you know, job well done, enjoyed that, and perhaps even if you've learnt a few things along the way. So that always helps. If you're a commission, then it's got to be accuracy and it's got to be the paint job and it's got to be perfect in every form. But again, that goes along, I suppose, if you're doing it for competition. It's got to be accurate, it's got to be perfect in every way. So really, I don't think you can have so much detail or paint job, because again, I've been to shows and you see a fantastically painted and weathered model, and perhaps some of the basic modelling skills have been overlooked, shall we say. And then you see it the other way round. I've been to shows and I've seen fantastically built models and a basic paint job, and they get overlooked because it's not heavily weathered and done what everybody else tends to like as well. So I think it's one of those areas where you pick your choice and you go from there. But I would have to say, from a personal point of view, it's literally having fun. You want to enjoy it. Like I always say, the whole point of a hobby is supposed to be doing something you enjoy, and that's why I've never quite got it when you get people who do scale modelling and they lose the plot over it and get really upset. And well, why are you doing it? It's a hobby. You're supposed to enjoy your hobby,
Very true.
Yeah, I think it's getting a balance between everything, isn't it? And I'm not going to get the micrometer out and start measuring. I want a level of accuracy up to a point, and a standard of finish that I'm happy with. That's what I'm aiming for.
Anyway, evening, Nathan. How are you?
Huh?
I said evening. How are you?
I'm all right. I just had my little daughter put up a fight tonight. Just did not want to sleep for toffee. Wanted cuddles and that was a nightmare. Just one of those moods. I think she's teething a lot, so she's battling with that. Bless her.
Richard's asked on our chat if you get discount, Flory members discount from high altitude hobbies. That's up to Brett.
I think you'd have to talk to Brett about that. That's not. I can't speak clearly for Brett. You'd have to actually ask Brett if you wanted to do something like that.
Don't ask, don't get, though.
Well, this is it. Have you seen Mr. Buller in the chat there, Matt?
I heard he's around.
He is. He's on the actual external chat.
He's on the YouTube chat.
He's on the YouTube chat.
John Christmas has put up about the Joe Wicks workout for kids.
Right.
He's aimed at middle-aged men. Yeah, that's definitely me. Like I was saying, though, I'm not being funny. Like, I'm an older dad, shall we say? So you've got them, like, we've been putting up, there's obviously like probably 10 even young, 10, 20 years younger than I am.
Yeah.
And they're struggling with it. So no wonder my legs are like don't work tonight.
It is quite intense. So you're just doing it in your living room. It's quite intense, isn't it?
It's very intense. It's a proper workout. It's not like just a lark around. Do you know what I mean? Even Lydia, is struggling. She's got all the energy in the world. So yeah, it's fun though, isn't it? Something to do for half an hour, 20 minutes. It's just the payback after.
Well, if you can get in shape during a lockdown, that's not a bad thing, is it?
Yeah, it's something to do, isn't it? Obviously. We've actually found the Wii Sports thing now.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, it was at Leslie's mum's in a box on one of the bookcases, so she's got it today. So yeah, now we've got the proper one, so you could do the boxing and bowling and whatever else you could do on it. So I'm quite looking forward to have a game of that tomorrow, to be honest.
It's the tennis that I like the best on Wii Sports.
Tennis is good, yeah.
John's missing his shed.
Oh.
Cue the Our Chew music. You wanted to go on holiday for a month. Now you're going to be there for a few months.
Chris has asked in chat, says, a question for team, any aftermarket recommendations for the 148 Airfix EE Inks Electric Lightning F1 F1A?
Are we talking 72, 48?
48.
All I'd buy, that's all it needs.
Eh?
I said all I would buy for it is a resin seat.
No,
you see none of the cockpit because it's tiny.
Can't see any of the cockpit. It's a waste of time.
You don't see any wheel wells, so what's the point of adding detail to that? And the rest of the kit's just fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
The only thing I've ever done to them in the past is I've used the metal nose ring,
Yeah.
yes.
which I do believe are available again, aren't they?
I think so, yeah.
I think they
Are
got
they?
released again
Oh, right.
because they were out for a long time, but I think they're out because mine hasn't got it. The one that you've got, Nathan. I don't think that
Yeah.
I did it on that one.
Being
but
one
my
of
other-
them.
Yeah, but my other ones have, because the great thing with them is you polish them up with a sander.
Eh?
Yeah.
If you polish that up with a sander, then with a buffer, that's
Yeah.
like proper mint. That is.
I think one if you were determined to spend a bit of money on it, maybe get an engine or two of them, obviously.
Well, you'd only
But I
need
don't-
one. You could show it on the top, couldn't you? You wouldn't need the one
Yeah.
underneath. You never see it.
Yeah, I
don't
mean, you can
think
get 'em
we'll-
added. You can open the spine up and everything on them, can't you, if you
Yeah.
want to? And
I know
Oh,
people
yeah.
have bought the resin undercarriage sets and they've had to sand everything down to wafer thin. So the resin undercarriage sets are definitely leave them well alone. Because the wings are so thin on the aircraft anyway. But I'd say just like a resin ejector seat, maybe resin engines. That'd be it, I think.
Somebody is asking. Sorry, I've lost who it was now. Who was it? DJ said, question: do you use flexible or straight edges for scribing? I use these, and to be honest, this is the Hasegawa tri-set, and I have had this now since around about 1996 or 7, and this is all I've ever used. So everything I've ever built since then has been scribed with these, and that is it.
Well,
And the great thing is, as you can see, they are very, very flexible, and I've yet to break one yet, even though that one's got a bit of a crease in it, but the rest of them are all fantastic. So,
Hey, are you using a ruler, Nate?
I'm using, because it's the wings, I'm using a steel ruler, and on
Yeah.
curves, I tend to use, because the Tamiya masking tape, that curved masking tape,
carving tape.
between the two,
I've lost mine. What have I done with mine? Hold on, I've lost it. Ah, there it is. There you go. I have carving tapes of various jobbies. You can have it in clear, or you can have it in the white stuff.
to be honest, the wings on this Javelin are so slab-sided that I can get away with using a metal ruler.
Yeah.
Are you going to
use that blue 3M stuff.
That'll work.
which
Or
is
you
a bit
can use
same.
Dymo tape.
Yeah, or Dyno tape, yeah.
Got
That
mine.
blue 3M stuff always falls off the middle bit, doesn't it?
Hey,
Yeah.
I can show you a good example of that. Hold on. Because I've
It's
got
horrible,
loads
isn't
of
it?
them.
Yeah. Every time it just falls.
Look, there you go. There's a good example of it doing
Yeah, it does.
it. I've got loads of it, but yeah, you can see it. And you don't touch it. It just does it on its own. It's like, how does
Yeah.
it even do that?
You got
So-
two sizes there put together.
Hey?
The two sizes joined together there.
Yeah, it is. It's welded itself together. Hold on. I'll try and peel it apart.
Oh,
Where it goes horrendously wrong, and I blame you.
I'll end with tears.
There you go. Look, they've still done it. Look, they've mirrored each other. But yeah, I've got loads of different ones. So yes, that's what I sort of do for me masking and me bits and pieces.
They got to scratch build some vortex generators, is it? Nathan?
I'm going to try and keep the vortex generators and the air brakes here. That's way too much scribing. That's raised detail, so I'm going to try and keep that.
Alright, okay.
Then it's just like choosing which access hatch I lose and which one I keep, to be honest.
James says, greetings from Jockdown in Sterling Heights, Michigan, USA.
Hello, greetings.
Greetings. He's building the Revel 1350th Truepits, or Turpits,
Turpits. Hey,
Platinum
that's the one
Edition.
John's got.
That's it, John's doing that. When he gets home.
Into
If
the
ever.
minute.
Yeah, he's going to need to sail home in it shortly at this rate. What are our drinks? Freaking anything, really. Terps.
Self-leveling.
Have you ever been to a Flory barbecue? Don't ask. Some of the crap we've drunk over the years, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Most of it, I don't think, is for human consumption. So go on then, round the room. Matt will have a baby sham.
What? Drinks-wise?
Drinks-wise.
What would I have? Oh, God. Definitely a Bailey's would be one. Sambuca would be the other. Anything vodka-based, I like. And actually, I've got quite into cider. Proper cider, though.
Scrumpy.
What time you
Proper
spent
scrumpy.
cider.
Flat scrumpy.
I don't do gassy drinks very well, so it has to be kind of just sort of, non-carbonated. I do like a Corona.
A coronavirus.
A beer, obviously. But yeah, that'd probably be me. Shorts, I think, is more the tipple for me.
Andy, Nath?
I don't drink much at all, to be honest with you.
Now? Not
Now.
allowed, that's why.
Ow.
That's why you're not allowed to drink, Andy.
Yeah. if I want to, generally I'll probably a lager. If I feel like a drink, I'll probably have a Stella. If I don't feel like a drink, I'll probably have a Bud. But then I do like my Baileys, but then there's too much sugars and stuff in that really for me to. But yeah, quite partial to a Baileys.
No?
I'm dead simple. Beer.
Beer.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Beer.
I
In
want
its
beer.
entirety. The
You always
whole
bring
lot.
some crap down here to drink. I've still got half a bottle of Messerschmitt in the cupboard. Can't give it away.
That was what happens when you send a few people to the drinks aisle in a
That and
co-op.
Skull.
Oh,
Oh
Skull.
yeah.
That was awful, wasn't it? It was dreadful.
That Messerschmitt stuff like cough medicine.
It is.
Messerschmitt
proper.
is, I mean, like, there's something not quite. They've been, yeah. That's still going to be there 10 years' time in it. That drink, because no one wants to drink it.
Yeah.
Rob says, Bailey's Matt ? Does your missus hold your handbag when you go to?
Absolutely. Good. She always holds my man bag.
Definitely. Well, that's not a joke.
Yeah.
For me, it's easy. I'm quite from the West Country, see the cider, and I do like my scrumpy, me proper stuff. But I am partial to red wine, Baileys, lager, gin. I've got
Anything
quite into
alcoholic.
gin recently. So yeah, I drink anything apart from vodka. I'm not a vodka fan, which is why I don't do very well when I go out and piss with him.
Yeah, that
He
me.
leads me astray with a crap he comes up with, saying try one of these.
A nice bit of a Jaeger bomb.
Yeah, yes, who
Does
knew?
wonders.
That's why Eindhoven was a blur. I think I don't remember anything from that. Yes. So yes, that's our little tipples.
Yeah.
Phil, do you know if I can get that masking putty from? Do you know? I think you mean where you get that. Which masking putty? Are you on about the white tack or the bouncy
Science putty you can get dead cheap off eBay or probably Amazon.
I was going to say Amazon or that. I've got one here somewhere. Where is it?
Yeah, I've got mine. Got that stuff.
Clever putty. Ah, that's it. Science putty,
That's
clever
the one.
putty. Do not buy anything with a branded name on it, 'cause you'll pay a fortune. But
Go.
as I say, I'm not a massive fan of this. I don't. I
Yeah,
like
it's
playing with it.
self-leveled, doesn't it? Oh God, I think mine might have gone off.
Not a dodgy one. But the great thing about this is
No,
bouncy.
no, it hasn't. Oh, no, there you go. There you go. It's like a piece of rubber.
Isn't it like a Newtonian fluid or something?
Yeah, it is. So if you whack it, it'll bounce, or it's soft if you're gentle with it.
I think mine might have had it.
So
So no,
it's
can it go
starch,
off?
innit? The thing
Can it
is,
go
I'm
off?
not actually a fan of this, because if you're masking something with it, so you've made like tackworms or whatever it is with it, you put it on your model and then you go away for half hour, come back, this will self-level itself out and it goes bleh, and it changes the pattern. So, and also if it sticks and you bend it round and you come back onto itself, it sticks, it grips, and it's almost impossible to pull itself off without destroying where it's been. So I prefer white tack, which is basically oil free, because this stuff, it holds its shape forever, so you can leave it on overnight and you don't have a problem with it. So although this place, it's all right for a quick job, I've used it once on a build and it worked beautifully, don't get me wrong. I used it on a Hurricane, the Airfix Hurricane, years ago, and it does work, it does do it, but I wouldn't use it again.
I think white tack, you can leave it on for literally months. Yeah, it just doesn't.
That's it just doesn't go anywhere. Stephen says, gentlemen, thank you for your time. 2 shows in 1 day. There you go. So yeah, over 4 hours. Appreciate it from Kansas City. No problem. It's our pleasure.
Get your money's worth of us.
Yeah, you do. And I will say this right now. I'd like to thank the Flory Models members, the family, Flory family, for letting us do this. Because, you know, if it wasn't for them letting us do this, we wouldn't be on YouTube. We would be in our normal vault in the corner of the web somewhere hidden away. So it's a big thanks to all you guys who pay your subscriptions, who pay for me to sit here and all the rest of it. So without that, this wouldn't even happen. So round of applause to all the subscription and all the members, the Flory family, for allowing us to do these. So big thanks to you all. There you go.
Absolutely.
Hi from New Zealand. Look, John, another one of your fellow brethren. How long's John got to be there before he actually becomes a local? Is it like Devon where you'll never be one, or do they have, like I say, 5 years you can be a local?
He's got a 6-month visa and he's wondering whether it's going to run out or not before he gets home.
I think he might need an extension.
They did say that they've said not to worry about visas. So.
Yeah. They'll look after him, I'm sure.
They are doing, apparently.
Yeah, they are. They're saying they've been very nice to him, very hospitable.
Yeah, very polite, very nice.
Right. Zero says, I paint with many different kinds of paint and always end up with a rough sandpaper texture. Tried less thinner, less thing, all the rest of it. Okay. I can't show you because they're in me spot. I can sort of, hold on, I can overcover them. Hold on.
I think I know what the answer is to this one.
You're all going to get shoved off a sec. Hold on. Somehow. Hold on. I've got a... Oh, God. This is really tricky, actually. Hold on. No, I've got a better idea. Hold on. Let me get rid of that. And we're going to go web. Where are we? Web. There we go. Right. If you go onto the Flory Models site, go into tutorials. Okay. Go down here into airbrushing. Okay, and there's a ton of videos down in here. Now, some of them are quite old, admittedly. Okay, so these are a few years old now, just the basics on airbrushing. But we've got the ones down in here about obviously cleaning airbrushes and all the rest of it. And we've got one down here about flat coats and frosting and things like that. Probably a good one to have a look at. We've also got another one here called paint textures and spattering. This one over here, I show how you can use a gloss paint and then literally make it go like a flat, and vice versa. I use a flat and can make it go to a satin by just changing your air pressures and distances and all different things like that. So it's probably a good idea, spend half hour, just have a watch of these two, and it will really fill you in exactly, you know, where you're going wrong with it all, because it's quite an in-depth thing to explain within a couple of minutes. Okay, and then obviously down here we've got the Airbrushing Live, which I did a series of live shows just on airbrushing with all you guys live on the internet a few years ago. Oh, it was only 2 years ago now, I think. They're the newer ones, if you like, down in there. But this is the ones you want to have a look at. Have a look in there, and that will definitely put you on the sort of right track. We'll call it that one. Basically, it's all about distance and air pressure. Okay, so it's not so much about your paint consistency, it's about distance, because the further you are away, it's drying whilst it's airborne when it sticks to the surface. So you need to move closer, but because you're going to be a lot closer than perhaps you're used to spraying, you need to cut back your air pressure. So you turn back your air pressure, so otherwise you're not blasting the actual work you're going on. But anyway, it explains about it all down in there. It's probably the easiest way to see it. Sorry, I forgot, Phil. What do you think to the black glue you're using? As I'm new to the hobby. To be honest with you, who is that? Is that Jolin? I'm new to this one. I've never used this stuff before. I've only started using it for the first time on this build that I'm working on at the moment. And as I say, it's one of those ones where I thought it was a gimmick. Now I sort of get it in a roundabout way, purely because when you put it on, you can see where your glue's going. And it's actually quite an eye-opener. So it probably teaches you to use less glue than you think you need. So for instance, when you touch it, the capillary action zips it across, and you see this stuff go off on your model, and you're thinking, Jesus, that travels a long way. So it's quite good to see where it's going. So also, if you've got that thing where perhaps you're doing a long seam line, you can drop it in, you can see it go off. Also, because it's black, when it dries, and if you're sanding, you can see if it's there or not. So I actually quite like it. The only thing to it is, and I have to say this, the more I'm using it, the more I'm feeling that whatever it is that makes it black is somewhat holding it back a little bit. And I don't know why. I just feel that with Tamiya Extra Thin, it's there. It's very the surface tension's broken. This seems to have a little bit of surface tension. So although it does go off and flow, I just feel it doesn't go as easily perhaps as a normal one. And I've got a feeling the ink or whatever's in it is the binder, and it's just slightly holding it back, which I don't think is particularly a bad thing, because it does stop it going off for miles. But from a gluing point of view, it's quite an interesting thing to do. It's just getting your head around it. To start with, it felt like I wasn't gluing, I was giving everything a black wash, because it works the sort of same way with it. But from a point of view of working wise, it works no different from Tamiya Extra Thin. It glues, it's as strong, it does everything exactly the same. So apart from you can physically see it. Greetings from Finland.
Hello.
Hello, Finland. Love all your stuff, Phil. Thank you, Tom. There you go. Peter is in New Zealand as well.
I've been to Finland a couple of times.
On the back of a helicopter.
Hey?
Cold weather training.
Stupid compressor. No. I used to do a lot of photography for a magazine, doing motorsport photography. I've been over there a couple of times doing the World Rally Championship. Hey?
Penthouse.
I wish.
He'd be more a razzle man.
Right, you reckon he's more razzle, is he?
The tone's getting lowered already.
There we go. Name of the glue it's basically Mr. Hobby, Mr. Cement, SP, which means it's the quick dry version, B because it's black. Apparently they just do a normal one, an SB version, and this is the SPB. It's getting confusing now with all the acronyms behind it. But there we go. That's the one.
Keith says, would you decant it into a tech bottle for the more precise brush?
To be honest, the brush isn't that bad.
It's alright. Just mute yourself.
Yeah, the brush isn't as bad as... This one out of the way, I can show you. It's not actually... It's quite a fine brush. There's not a lot in it compared to the Tamiya one. Definitely a different smell though.
Yeah, definitely.
And it does stain your fingers, look.
Oh God, yeah. It's definitely got ink in it, hasn't it?
Definitely ink, yeah.
So.
Yeah, everyone's saying definitely razzle. Tim's saying you want to watch part 7. He was watching it yesterday. Thank you. Oh, sorry, change my camera. Matt's been very busy painting, look.
Yeah, it's finished tomorrow.
Has he been painting on the sprue there? Cool.
Does look like
Dangerous.
He's muted us.
Stefan says, I can get the new Pache Talon TG3F for around about $70. Would it be a good purchase, or should I look for a different manufacturer? I've had a V&H Pache and a... Sorry, I have a V&H Pache now. To be honest with you, like I always say, the thing is, airbrushes are like cars. You know, if you're in a particular brand, shall we say, and you like that particular airbrush, perhaps you've got spares for it and stuff like that, then I would say go with what you get on with. If you've got the choice or the chance to have a go with another airbrush, then definitely do. So if you've got a friend who maybe's got a Pache Talon, go and have a play with it, see what you think of it. But again, it's one of those ones where it's very difficult from a point of view to say, look, go out and buy, because weirdly I've got, like Matt, quite a few airbrushes that I've acquired over the years, and I am a massive fan of Harder and Steenbeck airbrushes, which are all over 270 quid. Now I'm using 120 quid airbrush because I really like it. It's a fantastic airbrush. It does everything that my other ones do, and never had a problem with it. And I've been using it now for almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in the summer, and I'm still on the original needle, nozzle, seal sets and everything. As there you go, my glamorous assistant is displaying it. So it's the Procon Boy. Well, it's technically it's a freaking Iwata.
Yeah.
It's all Iwata. It's just that it's under a different brand name. So it's actually done by Guns. Sorry, Mr. Hobby. So it's Mr. Hobby, Procon Boy, and mine's the PS270, isn't it, Andy? Without me having to look. Quick look on the side of your airbrush. Is it the 270?
The tail's on it, does it?
It will save me turning
Oh
around.
yeah, 270. Yeah.
I
PS
could turn around and look, but yeah.
Yeah,
but-
PS270.
The thing is, 120 quid. It's half the price of my other airbrushes over there, and it does just the same, if not better in some ways, because it's got a Mac valve built into it. So.
Yeah.
So again, and that's the thing, you know, it's for years I've been telling everyone Harder and Steenbeck, best to have brushes out, and now I'm finding something cheap's working for me, and it's my daily driver. I use it every single day. I haven't used anything else now for almost 2 years, and it just works. It just literally keeps going. It's like the Duracell Bunny. I don't understand how it's even still going on the same needle and nozzles and sets, because usually I change them out every 6 months for the other airbrush, but it is. So very impressed with it.
A couple out of chat, Phil. John says hi from Northern Virginia. HG Barnes says, for the team, what's the best brand of pigment fixer to use with Flory Models pigments?
To be honest, I just use enamel thinners.
Yeah.
My go-to ones, I tend to use Tamiya X20, but honestly, I've got pigment fixers, expensive ones in here somewhere, and everybody else's. There you go. What's that one? That's pigment figure. That's AK's one. Anything will work. Yeah, pigment. To be honest, pigment is pigment. At the end of the day, it's just the particle count, the micron size of them that tends to make them different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark said artist low odor thinner seems to work, and Keith says any enamel type thinners, and Lenny says Nathan, fancy a DO335 for your SIG table the next show in 2023.
Yeah, seen that.
Tell me 148.
Very long lockdown. Yeah,
Yes.
that'd be lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what's his name did one, didn't he? But we don't see him anymore.
Yeah.
See, that long ago, I can't remember his name.
Oh,
Rob.
Rob, yeah, he's done.
That was him.
Who?
Yeah, who?
So I've just had to flick my chat. For some reason it said, try again later. I couldn't get in.
Brian says, question for the team. Did anyone build an Airfix Nimrod years ago? I passed on a really cheap one, $20 in Canada. Now I regret it. Do you think it will be back and it moves, and I realised it will be more than $20.
Yeah, you did miss a bargain there. To be honest, I've got one down there. I've got it. And at one point, they were giving them away literally at the shows. Their companies had stacks of them, and they were just offloading them. But now, as you say, you can't find them for love nor money. So I've got down there a 48 scale TSR2.
Yeah, that's the same, wasn't it? Get those for 20 quid once.
Yeah, that's it. That I picked up at a show dirt cheap because they were just giving them away. So
I've given Matt a Nimrod for a future auction.
So there you go. If you don't know, we do live auctions as well, you see. So the next auction up is Nathan's stash.
The Nimrod did go into the sell pile, yeah.
Some second-hand kits have bad or missing decals. Where can I find decals for kits in unusual scales, such as 1:141 monogram constellation? 1:141? What type of scale's that? Alas, I cannot make my own decals myself. For weirdo scales, I think you're going to struggle. That's the trouble. You know, I don't even know. Because obviously 144 isn't that far away from it. From 141, would you realistically know or notice? I know the rivet counters will obviously clearly have a digital calipers to check your scale, but I wouldn't know. So if I would go with a 144, you know, constellation, you might be able to find decals for that.
Well, if you have a look on ScaleMates, because sometimes when you look at a kit on ScaleMates, underneath it gives you accessories that go with it if you look at it.
Yeah, and also on Hannets as well, you can do the kit, and underneath it might have decals that go with them. So,
Patrick Sitters says, "Team, don't suppose there's any chance at the moment I can go on my 1 week trip to London in the last week of April? Is there?" Yeah, might come back with more than you bargained for, but.
Will they let you in?
I was going to say get fined, probably.
Will they let you out?
Yeah.
No, it's all on lockdown, so you're not get anywhere.
No. Ross says I really should be watching the show on the Flory site, as I'm a member, but I'm watching it on YouTube. Hey, whatever works, it's the same thing. There's a couple like Jan's on as well. He's down in there. To be honest, I have to say that's why these poor sods are having to do it. I prefer the chat stream on here because it's pausable. Yeah, ours isn't. That's the trouble.
Yeah, the YouTube, that's definitely easier to work with.
I have asked our devs to do it, but so far, clearly not.
Mark says King Kit have got Nimrods on their site and they've got 13 in stock according to the site.
Which they probably would, because they would have bought Shedload when they were giving them away a few years ago.
Yeah.
Nigel says, any update on the members' stash auction? The next one we're going to be doing will be... It's all on hold now, isn't it? Because of
the stuff out in the post, can we?
Well, we can. That's not so much of a problem. Sorted out today. But again, the legal side of it still needs to be tied down. That's the only thing. And to be honest, with all due respect, Leslie, who's our accountant, is Matt's wife, and I think she's really busy at the moment trying to sort out everything that's gone on with everything. Obviously she's got a lot of her clients who are pulling their hair out, so you know, because we're under mates rates with her, I can't push her.
Yeah, mates rates.
So bless her heart, I know she's pulling her hair out over a lot of stuff at the moment, so I think it's one of those things that we will get to it when we get to it, but with everything going on at the moment, a lot of things are just being slightly nudged a little bit. But we don't want to do an auction like every week anyway. It was only going to be, you know, as we were saying, perhaps one a month or something else like that, but we will be doing them again. It's just that at the moment we weren't even sure that PM Models was going to be open this week. You know, me and Matt were seriously thinking about it being closed at the end of this week, but I don't know. You know, as I say, things are all up in the air at the moment, purely because of if we can get stock in to stock rotations. You know, we don't carry a mass amount of stock, so you know, as long as we can get stock in, but a lot of our suppliers are closing, so it is proving to be a little bit troublesome with everything at the moment, but we are getting there. Alex says, greetings from a cold, and I can't pronounce that, in the Netherlands. Perfect chat, lads.
Was that Maastricht?
Is it? Oh, yes, it is. It's Maastricht. Yes.
Famous for its treaty.
Yes.
Not going any further on that subject. So one good thing about this COVID-19 is stop Brexit being on the news, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's killed that off. I haven't heard anything about that, have we?
Just like
Peter's joined in with the 1974 Matchbox A34 Comet tank.
Oh, good stuff.
Is unpainted in true Matchbox style. Want to paste photos. How do I send them to me? Okay, so easiest way to do it is just to send them to sales@florymodels.co.uk. That's it. sales@florymodels.co.uk. If you send them to there, and just for the the subject, just put in their photos, and I'll get them from there, and I'll shift them into a folder. I'll load them up into the system, and we can show them on the next shows.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And then obviously guys that you're doing, I'll show those in a minute anyway, just before we come off.
Yeah, it's nice to see loads of Matchbox stuff on the forum, isn't it?
It is, it's great. There's loads of it all over the forum, I must admit. I was looking at it this afternoon. Hi guys, is there a flying Vulcan in the UK? I saw a documentary where they stored it. Is it still flying? No, she's been put to bed. 2 years ago now, isn't it? She last flew?
Something like that. It got too expensive, didn't it?
I think
We
it
went
was
to,
the insurance, wasn't it?
Where did we go, Nathan? See its last flight?
That was Newark.
Newark, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw at Yeovilton the last fly thing for that was good. So yes, unfortunately she did. She flew for more years than they originally thought, wasn't it? I think she did an extra 2 years.
Yeah, they did well to keep it.
Yeah, to keep her flying, but I think every time she landed, everyone held her breath. It was like, Jesus, don't bounce it.
They couldn't get any company to commit to the, well, not the servicing, but the testing of it. What were the?
They needed to have it like fatigue testing, didn't
That
they?
was it. Yeah, they couldn't get any company to commit to it, could they? So
Yeah.
I don't think anyone wanted to put their name on it if in case.
Yeah. I think it was just getting too expensive, wasn't it? It costed millions a year just to keep it in the air.
What I'm going to do is slightly run through these guys. So if I miss your question, apologies. It's just that we're running out of time. So Matt, can you get ready to show? A long time ago, kits came in funny scales. We had one the other day. We were talking about it, and we were like, "Why is it in that scale?" Can't remember what that was now. Something was in it. We did a live show, one of the live ones last week or the week before, and somebody mentioned a kit in some of the weirdest scale ever. And it's like, well, how the hell did they ever come up with that idea? Guys, just send it to, if I do sales@florymodels.co.uk. Okay, hopefully that's popped up. There you go. I've put it in there now, so you're all good. Do you think COVID quarantine will be bad for model industry or good because everyone is bored? To be honest, I think it could go one of two ways. I think you might find a lot of the smaller independent cottage industries who rely on doing the show circuit because they don't have an online presence. They could be in real trouble over this. And we know of a few companies who literally just depend on doing shows because they don't have most of their stuff online. I think they're going to be in a real problem. If this does go 3 months, I think they're going to properly struggle. But again, hopefully, especially in the UK, the government are now sorting out things with self-employed people as well, by the sounds of it, which is what I'm waiting for. And then I'm off on holiday. But again, in some ways, I think it's great because I don't myself, but talking to the guys, they're all saying that everybody seems to be doing these types of things online and stuff like that. So I think that's really good. Not a flying Vulcan, but it's taxiing around. Yeah. They're on about, what was the one I was looking at the other day? The other Lancaster.
Just Jane,
isn't it? They're working on her again this winter to hopefully get her back up to flying state for another flying Lanc at some point, but I think it might be a few years yet. All the model shops in Detroit are closed because of the lockdown. I think they all are. You know, we can't open our store, me and Matt. It's not open to the public. But it is open online, so don't forget PM Models at, look, shameless plug, quick, let me chug this in. Hold on. Don't forget, everybody, we have
PMModelsUK.com.
hold on, I've got the thing, web, there we go. Where we've got absolutely everything. This is our little corner of the internet, so we've got all your paints, your glues, all your kits. There's new arrivals. Have we got any new arrivals been updated for a while now?
Nothing's come out. Actually, they should come next week. Oh, by the way, I spoke to Tamiya rep Ian this afternoon. I'm going to give him a bell because I'm not in work tomorrow at all. But Friday I need to go in and do a bit of a stock take because, you know, like I was saying this afternoon, with what stuff that's in and out, and it does need sorting. But Tamiya extra thin and quick sets back in. They're just labelling it up. So should have that back in next week with a bit of luck.
Definitely.
And if there's anything that's not on the site that you fancy, just message Matt at sales@pmmodels.co.uk.
Yep.
He'll have a look and see if he can get price for it.
The other one. Yeah, like I say, obviously with what's going off, it's going to be hit and miss, I'm afraid, with stuff. Like I say, one order is definitely going back to sender, and they're going to send it back to me here at home when they get it back, which might be tomorrow, and then they'll whack it back. But apparently, they've had a few go back, and they don't know why. They've got no idea what's gone off, but they've got quite a few other orders coming back to them. So
That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Keith says, can you add a Tamiya extra thin to his order, please?
Yeah, just make sure it's coming in. But yeah, can do, yeah.
Cool. Last one just off the chat, and then we're going to say goodnight, guys. This is saying, Phil, a suggestion for a new product for the Flory range, a putty, and you could call it filler, spelled PH. Very good. Bob. So yes. Anyway, how are we doing then, guys? Show us your wares. What you been up to?
We just I'll get on to pop down. Oh my God, where is it?
Right, who do you want to go first?
I'll tell you what. We'll all go on our overheads, and then.
Yeah, that's what I was about to change mine to my overhead.
Where are we? Yes. Right. Okay. Go on then, Matt. You go first.
So I have started to paint the Wesp. And
Very
guess what
nice.
I painted it in?
Oh, is this AK real colour?
No, life colour.
Oh. Is that the one you stole from me?
No, I've had this ages. I had a German paint set, and it's the only Africa Core, Dunkel, Gleb, whatever it is, yellow, somewhere, I don't know, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Gleb, yeah, Grun Brown, that's it.
Yes.
But I'm going to lighten it up. This is just a base coat. So yeah, I thought, well, I've got it, and why not use it? So.
What you mean, like Tamiya XF59?
No, that's desert yellow. This is different. See? This is greeny brown, not desert yellow. See, even with my rudimental German, I can translate that. So anyway, so yeah, and it's coming on nicely, to be honest.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Dave?
And my little dudes have been zenithal highlighted.
Oh, have they? They look like you sprayed them grey.
I have, basically. Black with a white top coat. So yeah.
Cool.
Right, go on then, Dave.
Well, I've got lots of Tamiya putty drying on the fuselage. I've managed to sort of sketch out a basic cockpit that I'll need to put some instrument panels on. And obviously, starting to join the wing, I've now spent the last 10 minutes wedging a load of plastic card down in just a ginormous gap there. And started to rescribe. You can see the ink stains where I've just put a little bit of ink on to see where I've scribed and not scribed. It's really hard seeing what you've scribed on white plastic.
Yeah.
This thing is starting to get heavy. So this plastic is, I think it might be sort of uranium based. It's so flipping heavy. But it's agricultural. It's a great kit.
Very nice. Coming along very nicely. Right, Andy?
Because I wasn't on this afternoon show, I'm sort of like behind everyone, so just building up the cockpit, so all the bits are. Where are we? There, all painted and ready to. It's a black cockpit, and you don't see much of it, so you can't really do much with it. The instrument panel, I've just sprayed the back. It's a clear. I've just clear dial. Just sprayed the back of it white, so you get the background of the things that are ready to be cut out and go on. And then the seat belts and bits, I've just primed them with the black paint I was doing the cockpit with. So
see, there you go. You take the piss out of the saw kit, comes all that nice detail look.
Yeah, you don't see any of it because you can't see anything in the
Can
cockpit.
you have the canopy rolled back?
No.
No.
Did the canopy roll back on these, or did they get in through the side?
I thought they had a door and they get in through the side on it.
Yeah, I don't think the canopy goes back on these.
What? How did it come up from underneath it?
I think.
Did it have a door?
Yeah, it's a massive aircraft, isn't it, the Gannet?
Yeah, but I didn't realise you could come up from underneath it. I thought it had like a bloody great engine in the front end with a radome underneath it, didn't it?
Not sure.
No, you get in at the back of the fuselage. I thought you climbed in.
Even the pilot?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I thought the radar bloke did, but I didn't realise the pilot did. I thought he climbed in the top.
Yeah, it might
I know the canopy slides back on the anti-submarine one.
Yeah.
No, they must do on that then.
Yeah, think about it. Must do.
Yeah. Be a bit odd if it didn't. How would he get out?
Slowly.
Yeah.
He goes down with it.
Yeah, he just basically doesn't. He's screwed.
Very nice. Right, I've done. Obviously, the canopy is a loose fit still, so I need to paint the inside. We've somewhat got the wings now to face all in the right direction after me bending it over my knee, literally. So it's actually, I have to say, it is a fantastic little kit. It's not often I work on small stuff like this, and sometimes I wonder why I don't, because this is a little gem of a kit. I think by the time this is painted up and taken care of, and hopefully that will get that done tomorrow, it's going to be a little gem. Very nice. Beautiful little kit. I like it a lot.
You've got nose weight in it still, haven't you?
I have remembered to put nose weight, and look, it's got loads. It does a proper Tora job. It's got, you know, we crammed in as much as I could get in there. But again, even the nose detail's very nice. So, good job on that.
Mark says there's steps on the outside of the Gannet, so they obviously do the climbing. And
oh, right. So you do go in through the roof. Very good. Right, okie dokie. But thank you very much for everyone joining us today. What is the address for online purchases for doing everything? Be a volunteer bin man in Glasgow. What is the address for online purchases? I'll be modelling in every afternoon. Yes, so it's PM Models
UK.
UK.co.uk. No, it's not. Yes, it is.
.com.
.com.
PMModelsUK.com.
Yes. Have we got a little thing that actually has it on it? We haven't actually got anywhere that says it on it properly, have we? We need to do that. Job for Andy. Stick the fucking address in big letters on it so we can show it on screen. So,
Or if you want florymodels.co.uk for
Sanders washers.
yeah, but you can get them out of PM as well.
Yeah, get from PM as well. Yeah.
So if you want to get to it as well, because obviously a lot of you guys probably know me, if you go to the Flory Models site, and then literally down in here, look, you've got PM Models store. So you've got my store and my bits of the site and all the rest of it. But just here, you literally just click in there and that will link you straight over to the PM store. And for somebody who was asking about, have I done a thing on tutorials? Click on tutorials for Declan. Yes, there's a new one gone up, which only went up the other day. Go in there to quick tutorials and tips. And in there is one down in here for the bite-size series, which is something I'm working on at the moment, although this is taken up all the time, down in here. All right, so forget the numbers. It will make sense one day, but at the moment I've just done 1, 2 and 3 and number 14. Don't ask, long story. But if you click on there, it's all about doing decals and everything else. But there is other videos on it as well, so you know, just have a look around tutorials and things like that, and you'll see it. There's a quick tip one on doing decals and things like that in there as well. So yes, good job. I'd like to thank you all for joining us and watching. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. As was pointed out to me, don't forget to mash that like button. Apparently, does that sound good?
Ring the bell.
Ring the bell, subscribe, all the rest of it, guys. It really does help us out. And plus, about all the haters who then just click on the dislike button because they don't like us, it's a fingers up to them as well. So, yeah, make sure, look at that, 41 straight away. Thank you, guys. So, yes, but we will be back with you tomorrow night at 7:30 again till whenever we're done. So we'll be back on with you, and then we'll be back on with you on Friday, so forth and so on, as we make our way through on this one. So yes, great job. Thank you very much to the guys as well for joining me as well.
Pleasure.
Okay. Right, we will call it there then, guys. We will see you very, very soon. Take care of yourselves. Happy modelling, and stay safe out there. Say good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye. Good night.